This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday. I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Stephanie Roberts. Welcome. It is damp out there this morning and about to get a lot more damp. We're going to check in with meteorologist John Scalzi for a look at this very wet Wednesday. Good morning, John.
Good morning. Yeah, you just made it in right on time because I'll tell you, the heavier rains are on the way. Now, I know it looks really bad out there in Gulf waters, but the thing is a lot of this is going to be dissipating as it inches closer to shore. Nevertheless, the rainfall rates will be picking up, and you probably, as you're making your morning commute this morning, will probably find some areas that are going to have some ponding water on the roadways. So take it easy, be careful. I'm sure that there'll be some hydroplaning going on across the Suncoast today because you can get some pretty good rainfall rates in excess of a ½ inch to an inch an hour. Now, there's a large swath, and then you look out in the Gulf waters and you say, oh, look, there's all that clearing going on. So this is going to be a real quick blast of rain. Well, yes and no. The heaviest of the rain will take till probably midday to move on past us, but then a strong onshore flow is going to keep us in intermittent rain showers throughout the afternoon, here and there kind of dotting the landscape. But definitely the first half of the day we'll see the heaviest, steadiest of the rains. This is the good kind of rains, the kind that soak in. So we'll look for a daytime high that tops out in the mid-70s today. Changes tomorrow. We'll talk about that in a second.
All right, thanks so much, Sean. Looking forward to speaking with you. Taking a look at your Suncoast traffic, picking up throughout Manatee County and its normal spots throughout downtown Bradenton and on State Road 70 and 301. I-75, though, looking clear as you head into Sarasota County. There is a little bit of traffic on Bee Ridge Road and 41. We do have a live look from Tuttle Avenue and Bee Ridge Road. Now, this is a normal spot for a lot of traffic throughout the morning. Not a whole lot going on at the current moment, but remember, this is a lot of construction going on in this area, so keep an eye out on the roadways as you head throughout that area. Moving towards South County, traffic looks like there is a little bit of congestion on 41 towards Nokomis and Venice and up towards South Sarasota. Other than that, I-75 clear in both the north and southbound directions.
It is 6:02 and topping our news at this hour, 3 people are now facing charges for child neglect following 2 different incidents in Sarasota County.
Christina Matacino and Matthew McCree were arrested after they were discovered passed out in the car in the middle of the northbound lanes of Tamiami Trail in Northport on Saturday. A 2-year-old was also found in the back seat. Heroin and other drugs were also in the car.
In a separate incident, Catherine Miller was arrested after she was found sleeping behind the wheel while parked at a gas pump at a Wawa in Venice. She was then spotted leaving an infant behind while going into the store. Deputies say various drugs were found in her car as well.
When we see individuals who are impaired and not even coherent enough to operate their own vehicle, much less have a child in the car, it's very upsetting. It's very upsetting. Most of our deputies are parents themselves, so it hits home for a lot of us.
Both children are safe and staying with family members. Matacino and McCree remain behind bars, and Miller has posted bail.
A Manatee County man is behind bars after deputies say he pulled a gun on another driver. The incident started on I-75 when the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office says Christopher Ruiz followed a woman from the interstate to Fruitville Road in Sarasota, then boxed her in at the intersection of Paramount Drive. Deputies say Ruiz then exited his car and pointed a gun at the woman. Ruiz says it was all because the woman hit his car on the interstate.
She called 911 very early on, so she was actually talking to our call takers for a very long time, and I think our call takers did a great job at kind of keeping her at ease and keeping things at bay and managing the situation as deputies attempted to locate these 3 individuals.
Ruiz is charged with aggravated assault with a firearm and false imprisonment. He remains in custody without bond. New this morning, a woman is dead after getting hit by an SUV in a parking lot in Inglewood. Linda Zoliner was walking the parking lot of the Lemon Bay Breeze condos on South McCall Road. An SUV was turning a corner when it hit Zoliner. She was taken to Inglewood Community Hospital where she later died from her injuries. The driver, however, was not injured. No charges were filed in the accident.
Testimony is set to get underway today in the trial of the Bradenton mother facing charges in the death of her 4-year-old son. Jury selection was completed yesterday. Diana Marr is charged with aggravated manslaughter by culpable negligence after her son Alexander was found dead in their home in April of 2015. An autopsy showed that the young boy suffered traumatic injuries to his head and torso. Mar's boyfriend, Trevor Carterell, was found guilty last month of culpable negligence in the case. He is currently in prison and set to be released next year. If convicted, Mar faces up to 30 years in prison. New this morning, new legislation being filed by state lawmakers is looking to help combat the growing opioid epidemic. If passed, the new bill would modernize prescription drug monitoring programs and shorten reporting times. Currently, dispensers have to report when they prescribe controlled substances to a patient within 1 week. The bill would require reports to be sent in at the close of the next business day. Lawmakers supporting the bill say it will help pharmacists and physicians identify drug use patterns. That bill will be introduced to the House's Health Committee sub-meeting this morning.
The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is beginning a new partnership with Centerstone of Florida. According to the Herald Tribune, Centerstone will now be the primary provider for mental health care services for inmates in Sarasota County. All other health care will still be provided by Armor Correctional Health Services. Sheriff Tom Knight made that announcement this week. The Sheriff's Office already works with Centerstone for opioid dependency initiatives in the county. Centerstone provides the same services for Manatee County inmates as well. Meanwhile, changes are on the way for patrol officers with the Sarasota Police Department. High crime areas of Sarasota have been patrolled by 2 police officers in 1 vehicle previously. Now, Chief Bernadette DePino is splitting up the officers and putting them in separate vehicles for patrols. The chief is calling it the smart way of policing, but those opposed are saying it's putting officers' lives at risk.
If an officer is working in a high crime area alone, the level of anxiety is going to be increased. And to me, that's going to increase the likelihood of mistakes, reflexive, knee-jerk decision-making, which is therefore detrimental to the public and its safety.
We have such a great relationship with people in our community. I believe that increases the safety of our officers with those interactions that we've had and the trust and relationships that we've built.
DePino says her officers are provided with the best tools in order to stay safe. This story also getting plenty of reaction on social media. We've received dozens of comments on the story on our Facebook page. Jose wrote to us with support for the decision, claiming most counties in New York do it and it works, so why wouldn't it work for Sarasota? But Doreen disagrees. She says too many cops are killed nowadays, and without a partner, officers are like sitting ducks. Jeff let us know his thoughts as well, and he's concerned about the mental state of officers who are alone. He says besides personal safety, with the serious work that officers do, it is mentally beneficial for them to have someone with them to count on. And we want to know what you have to say about this whole decision this morning, so log on to our Facebook and drop us a comment. The Venice Fire Department is trying to keep families safer in their homes. The American Red Cross is partnering with the fire department to provide smoke alarms to families in need. Venice fire officials are assessing at-risk communities within city limits to make sure vulnerable residents can take advantage of the program first. The goal, to provide smoke alarms to every homeowner unable to incur the cost of such protection. Now, it's all part of the Home Fire campaign, which the Red Cross started back in 2015. It's a nationwide effort to reduce the number of injuries and deaths caused by residential home fires.
In Bradenton, if you walk on the street outside of a crosswalk, be prepared to be ticketed. According to the Bradenton Herald, Bradenton police officers will be giving out more citations and warnings for pedestrian-related traffic violations. They include jaywalking and violating the right-of-way for pedestrians in crosswalks. It'll be up to officers to decide if they give out a warning or an actual citation for the violation, and it's part of an effort to better enforce laws aimed at improving safety for bicyclists and pedestrians. The Bradenton City Council will consider a new draft tonight of a citywide noise ordinance. The current noise ordinance prohibits sound greater than 65 decibels between the hours of 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. If approved, the new ordinance would increase the accepted decibel level to 80 and then eliminate that 10 p.m. time limit. Noise complaints would also be measured at the property line of the complainant, not at the source of the sound, an important difference. The public hearings on that proposal will be held next month.
Plans for a new water taxi between Sarasota and Anna Maria Island are moving forward. Sarasota City Commissioners approved the requested permit for the service to operate between the city and Bradenton Beach. The service would operate daily with round-trip tickets around $12 a piece. There are some stipulations, though, that will be worked out in the future, including parking and where the service will operate from. City Commissioners also approved increasing mobility fees in the city. The money from what's called a multimodal fee would go to transportation projects to improve roadways, sidewalks, and bike lanes. There will also be a second reading on this issue before the fees go into effect.
Well, the numbers are in for this year's Thunder by the Bay. Organizers say that it was a successful event. 25,000 people attended Thunder by the Bay. Overall, the total estimated economic impact was more than $2.7 million. People visiting for the event for just one day, all in all, spent more than $1 million, and overnight visitors bought in more than $1.5 million into the region. 91% of those surveyed during the event say they plan to attend next year, and next year it is scheduled through January 4th through 7th. You know, it's good to see that it did so well this year because that venue change, pushing it out farther into Lakewood Ranch, concerned a lot of folks, whether we'd have the attendance, whether we'd have the people, and it seems like it worked out.
I'm glad because everybody enjoys it when they go there, you know, so it's a nice little event, raises a lot of money for a good cause.
And not so little, apparently.
Not so little,
Not
right.
so little at all.
It's good. Glad to see it.
And not a little amount of rain, I see.
Through the morning hours, I think we're going to see a lot of steady, at times heavy rainfall. It's really not going to clear out until we get into the afternoon hours. So be prepared for a soggy morning ahead. We'll talk about it in a sec.
All right, sounds good. And still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, a 7-year-old girl had the chance to meet players from one of Major League Baseball's most popular teams, but she blew them off to see her heroes at a spring training event. We'll show you whose autograph she ended up with coming up.
Join us this Saturday night at 7 o'clock and 11:30 for the House to Home Show, featuring some of the finest homes for sale right here on the Suncoast. Whatever your taste, you're certain to find properties that satisfy your particular buying preferences. Presented by SWC Properties right here on ABC 7.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Florida's last private island is a waterfront lifestyle like no other. This is Harbor Isle, just 5 minutes from the sugar sand beaches of Anna Maria Island. This sun-splashed paradise invites you to enjoy natural adventures and all the recreation of a tropical resort. Island coach homes and waterfront condos are now available from the high 400s, plus incredible savings on move-in ready homes. Come tour 6 designer models. This is the time of your life. Make it island time at Harbor Isle. Go to mintofla.com now.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
As the only certified surgeon of excellence in metabolic and bariatric surgery in the area, Dr. Joseph Chepley has performed more than 1,300 successful bariatric surgeries. Join us on ABC 7 News from 5 to 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, February 23rd. Dr. Joseph Chepley and his talented staff will be taking your phone calls as we discuss what makes someone a good candidate for surgery and the different options available to patients in our area. Thursday, February 23rd.
Hurry in to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota for big savings on some of America's best vehicles. Over 100 standard and available safety features make the new Chrysler Pacifica a safe investment for any family. And right now, you can buy one for just $24,999 or save up to $11,000 on a new Ram Crew Cab during Ram Truck Month. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Contemporary Cabinetry and Closet Concepts. Our strength is in building a relationship with our clients. Locally owned and operated for over 30 years. When you organize your home, you simplify your life. Call today for a free in-home consultation or visit the web at contemporarycabinetry.srq.com.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
So looking at an air temperature coming in at 65 degrees with a dew point pretty close to it at 62. There's a muggy feel to the air, and there's a lot of rain falling in places. This is not going to be the morning where you get away with your intermittent windshield wipers. No, it's going to be kind of a wet day, probably right straight through the afternoon. Now, the nature of the rainfall may change a little as we head into the mid-afternoon period, but there'll still be rain around. We'll look for an east wind at 3, shift to the west as we head into the afternoon, and that low-pressure area starts to make its way across the state. Look for temperatures that are pretty uniform from coast to inland areas, generally upper 60s most everywhere you look. No 70s on the map currently, but getting pretty close to it in Venice with 69. Northport at 69, 68 in Arcadia, 68 in Bradenton, Longboat Key at 69, and 67 degrees also at Longboat, at Lakewood Ranch rather. So there's that line of showers. It extends really a good distance, the entire length of the state of Florida, plus it lifts north up through the Atlanta area. By the way, if you're traveling to the Atlanta airport, should not be a big issue in terms of any kind of difficulties landing at that airport. No severe weather up there. And in fact, even though this looks kind of angry down here to the south with all these reds and yellows, it's not that big a deal in terms of strong storms. We're not looking at any severe weather, and even thunderstorms are at a minimum. A big, broad area of low pressure helping to kick up all this showery activity. It's not a tight, strong pressure gradient coming through. It's a very weak, large, lumbering low pressure area that'll take all day to cross the state. But it is a very wet, moist system. Take a look earlier on, about 12 hours ago, we had a solid line of thunderstorm activity, and it's kind of fallen apart as it sinks southward and closer to the state. Only a couple pops of lightning in the last hour or so, and really thunderstorm activity is not going to be all that impressive today. If you hear a pop or two of lightning, you know, it's going to be one of the few you hear all day long because there's just not a lot of thunderstorm activity here. Moderate rain falling over a lot of the area now, steady rain. What you're experiencing right now from Manatee County, Anna Maria, Longboat Key, down through Inglewood into Lakewood Ranch, that's pretty much what you're going to see right straight through lunchtime. At times the rain will get a little bit heavier, but that'll be a passing period of heavier rainfall. This light to moderate rain that you're seeing now, that's going to be with us. That's not going anywhere. It's not getting any better until we head into the later afternoon. So in areas of Siesta Key down through Venice, there is a patch of some moderate to heavier rainfall approaching the coast that'll weaken a little bit as it gets closer to you, but you can expect the uptick in rain over the course of the next 20 minutes to half hour in that location. There is some drier air back behind this rotating system as it lifts off to the north and to the east. That'll be coming our way later in the afternoon and overnight. But even as that low moves across the state, our winds are still going to be onshore, so we'll still pick up an occasional shower right straight through till tomorrow morning, I think, when that low pressure system actually exits and we start to clear out and get a little bit more sunshine back in here by tomorrow afternoon. Not a great day for boating, don't need to tell you that. Southeast wind switching west at about 10 knots. You'll be dodging showers and an occasional thunderstorm all day long out there. And as we head into the weekend, another front comes through on Saturday. You'll hardly notice it. It won't produce weather, but it will lower our temperature about 5 degrees and bring in some nice dry air. Back to you.
All right, nothing dry about the morning commute. Thank you very much, John. Extra caution and some extra time needed on the roadways for sure this morning. Good news is it's early, not a lot of problems, but we do have an accident now popping up on 41. It looks like it's causing some delays southbound. That is at Florida Boulevard in that Bayshore Gardens area. So extra caution needed there in South Bradenton. As you head into Sarasota, no wrecks being reported. I-75 still looking pretty good. Some slowdowns now at Clark Road, Stickney Point rather, right there at 41 as you head in the eastbound direction, and we're starting to see increasing traffic on Bee Ridge as well. In South County, things moving fine, no accidents or delays being reported. We are going to take a live look out at Bee Ridge because plenty of construction zones popping up across the area, and this is one of them. But right now, things looking fine at Bee Ridge and Tuttle, even with the construction. But you can see the puddles, you can see the rain coming down, and no doubt that's going to mean we're going to see some delays. So please be careful out there. Well, a Boston Red Sox spring training event is going viral for what one 7-year-old girl did while she was there.
The Red Sox hosted an open house and autograph session at JetBlue Park at Fenway South in Fort Myers. McKenna Woodburn was one of the fans in attendance and waited in line to get her ball signed, but she didn't go home with any Red Sox autographs. It was one that was much more special. She got out of line to have an Army reservist sign her ball instead.
She's here instead of baseball players.
This little girl, she proved to me that what I'm doing in life is okay and I'm doing something that's good enough.
Olivia Russell is the one who gave the autograph. She says she thinks McKenna asked for it because she's not used to seeing a woman in uniform. McKenna says Russell is famous and she can't wait to show off her autograph to her friends. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love that story. It gave me a little bit of tears in my eyes because that's such an awesome story.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice that she already recognizes what a great sacrifice she's making. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
The FBI is investigating a plot of a terror attack they say could have had 10 times the impact of the Boston Marathon bombing. We'll show you who they say was behind the whole plot coming up after the break.
Good morning. We're at the Publix Aprons Cooking School with Chef Alan. What are you making me today, Alan?
Well, today we're going to make a pasta pizziola with meatballs.
Sounds great.
Fantastic.
Let's
First thing we're going to do, we're going to put a little olive oil in here, a little extra virgin. We're going to add in some peppers. We're going to add some onions into there.
Green and red peppers.
Green and red.
Got
We're going to let it go for a second or two. We're going to add some fresh diced tomatoes into there as well. Then we're going to add some pepperoni. And the reason we want to add that pepperoni now is because it'll sweat out a little bit and those oils will come out of that and it'll flavor everything. And that's really what we're looking to do.
I love this style of cooking.
I think it's great. And then we're going to add some beautiful meatballs into that as well. Give that a nice stir. Again, everything comes together real nice.
Whoa, good
That's
save on the meatball.
We got meatballs going everywhere, everywhere. Now, once that starts to heat up for a little bit, we're going to add in just a really nice little jarred sauce here. You can use whatever sauce you like. Use your own favorite sauce. You can use homemade sauce. It really doesn't matter at this point.
Same with the meatballs. You can make them homemade,
you can make them
or
homemade.
You can pick something up right here at Publix.
We have them right here at Publix. And then the last thing that we're going to add to this is just some beautiful diced tomatoes that come out of a can. They're already flavored with some basil and some fresh herbs, and it really makes a big difference when you have something already done with that.
It really does. Talk about a simple meal. I'm loving this.
Totally simple meal.
How much longer should we cook it?
I would cook this probably about 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes, just to let the vegetables soften up. But then again, you can let the vegetables soften up as much or as little as you like.
I like a little crunch.
I like a little texture to my vegetables too. Then we just finish it with a little bit of beautiful fresh pasta here that we just got done with.
And cook it al dente so it'll finish off in the sauce. Now, starting tomorrow, be sure to stop by your Aprons Simple Meals kiosk. Pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients after sampling this delicious dish. And it is delicious, Alan. Thank you.
Thank you, Judy.
I'm Alan Cohn. Going beyond baseball, the Orioles bring millions in economic impact to the Suncoast. But how else does the team enrich our community?
Tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Cancer does change people's lives. It is frightening. The treatment for fear is hope. And what works for you is not necessarily going to work for somebody else. It does take a whole team. This is a facility that really cares about the outcome of the patients. So our job at Sarasota Memorial Hospital is to meet the needs of that individual any way we need to meet them.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Come meet the artists and enjoy their creations at the St. Petersburg Fine Art Festival. Over 100 artists and thousands of works in contemporary art in photography, glass, sculpture, jewelry, and much more. The 4th Annual St. Petersburg Fine Art Festival, Saturday and Sunday, February 25th and 26th at North Straub Park in St. Petersburg. Bring your love and appreciation of art to the St. Petersburg Fine Art Festival. For more information, visit ParagonArtEvents.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC 7's Good Morning Suncoast.
There's a whole new way to bank at Achieva Credit Union with Achieva Checking Plus. Get new unique features like full ID theft protection and online shopping rewards. Plus, it's an interest-bearing account, so you have a little extra for what really matters. Achieva Checking Plus isn't just an account for your money, it's for your life, including cell phone insurance. And that's good to know. Discover the plus at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Go ahead. Make a fashion statement. Demand something more than just ordinary. Capture elegance in every turn and drive with flair. Where beautiful styling is standard. Stop in and take a test drive. I'll guarantee you'll never go back to plain vanilla again. The all-new 2017 Fiat 500, starting at $14,999. Only at Sunset Fiat in Sarasota.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
Welcome back. It is 6:26 on this Wednesday morning. A Missouri man is under arrest accused of plotting a President's Day terror attack in the name of ISIS.
ABC's Pierre Thomas has details.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the FBI claims Robert Hester Jr. is a would-be terrorist planning a bombing spree on a scale he believed was 10 times bigger than the Boston Marathon attack.
Not Robert Jr. No way. He's a loving father.
The alleged mission of a U.S. citizen with a brief stint in the U.S. Army, a President's Day terror massacre targeting buses, trains, and a train station in Kansas City. But it was all a sting. The FBI locked in on Hester after he allegedly began posting ISIS propaganda and declarations of jihad on social media using a number of aliases, including Jannad Muhammad.
He opened himself up to being contacted. Was very anxious to, be recognized, and kind of walked right into this trap that was set for him by the FBI.
And we'll have the latest on the investigation coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Pierre Thomas, ABC News, Washington.
Can I do pop-pop?
Happy birthday! I survived a heart attack. I'm doing all I can to keep from having another one. And I'm taking Brilinta. For people who've been hospitalized for a heart attack, I take Brilinta with a baby aspirin, no more than 100 milligrams, as it affects how well it works. Brilinta helps keep my platelets from sticking together and forming a clot. Brilinta reduced the chance of another heart attack, or dying from one. It worked better than Plavix.
Don't stop taking Brilinta without talking to your doctor, since stopping it too soon increases your risk of clots in your stent, heart attack, stroke, and even death. Brilinta may cause bruising or bleeding more easily, or serious, sometimes fatal bleeding. Don't take Brilinta if you have bleeding, like stomach ulcers, a history of bleeding in the brain, or severe liver problems. Tell your doctor about bleeding, new or unexpected shortness of breath, any planned surgery, and all medicines you take.
Talk to your doctor about Brilinta. I'm doing all I can. That includes Brilinta. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Car experts and customers agree. There's a whole lot to love about a new Subaru. Subaru offers more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And Subaru had the best resale value of all brands for 2016. Now you can lease a new Subaru Forester for just $209 a month or get 0% financing during the Subaru True Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Join us for Sarasota Opera's 2017 Winter Festival, opening February 11th. Featuring Puccini's most famous opera, Madame Butterfly, Rossini's delightful comedy, The Italian Girl in Algiers, Poulenc's heartbreaking dialogues of the Carmelites, and the medieval thriller, The Love of Three Kings by Italo Montemezzi. Tickets are on sale now. Call 941-328-1300 or visit sarasotaopera.org.
You can do something about a crime, any crime, and you can receive a reward of up to $3,000 cash. Call Crime Stoppers with information about criminal activity, unsolved crimes, drug dealers, fugitive criminals, stolen property, illegal weapons. Call 366-TIPS. You will remain anonymous. Visit SarasotaCrimeStoppers.com. Download the Crime Stoppers P3 mobile app from the Apple iTunes Store or Google Play. Call Crime Stoppers 366-TIPS. Paid for by the Attorney General's Office, Crime Stoppers Trust Fund.
In town? On the town, The Mark offers landmark living in the center of everything you love about Sarasota. Priced from the 700s, spacious residences and elevated club-level amenities create a private oasis in the sky. Promenade shopping and dining put the best of downtown downstairs. Sales gallery open daily at the corner of Pineapple and State Street just south of Main. The Mark, Sarasota. Presented by Coulter.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, new details on the plane crash that killed 4 Americans on vacation in Australia. We'll have more from those who knew them.
Plus, a new set of immigration orders from the White House are putting millions of immigrants on high alert. Who's at risk of deportation?
And a popular deli on the Suncoast is opening its doors again after moving locations. We'll show you where you can find it.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back. I'm Stephanie Roberts. It is 6:32.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday morning. A little rainy outside. You said that you almost missed it.
Just starting when I was coming in the 5 o'clock hour,
Yeah.
but now I know it is probably going to be coming more intently.
Exactly. Well, let's check in with John Scalzi over in the Weather Center to get some more details on that.
Yeah, get ready. Here it comes. Yeah, it's coming down a little bit heavier now along the immediate coastline. Hey, do yourselves a favor. Allow yourself an extra 20% commute time this morning because it's not going to get lighter during the morning rush. It is certainly not going to let up until probably after the lunchtime hour. Heavier rains now beginning to fall along the coastline, stretching from Sarasota down through Venice and into Fort Myers. Fort Myers seeing some fairly heavy rainfall at that. We'll probably see periods of ponding of water on roadways and certainly some pretty hard driving rains at times during the morning. They'll pass by pretty quickly, but nevertheless, they will be significant rain showers. If you're driving over the Skyway Bridge, you can get some pretty heavy rainfall in about 45 minutes or so. So allow yourself that little bit of extra time and ease up off the gas pedal, and you'll be happy you did. 100% chance of rainfall today. Don't hear me say that very often, so you can take it to the bank. You're going to get wet today. Look for a daytime high that tops out not too terribly warm because of all the cloud cover around. And then as we head into tomorrow, things will improve. And we'll talk all about the timing coming up in a few.
All right, thanks so much, John. Taking a look at your roadways this morning, they are pretty wet out there. So like John said, make sure to allow yourself some extra time for your commute. Traffic picking up in its normal spots throughout Bradenton and Manatee County. Downtown Bradenton getting a little heavily congested throughout that area. State Road 70 and 301 also picking up. I-75 looking clear, though, as you head into Sarasota County. There is a little bit of pickup on Bee Ridge Road. We do have a live look from Bee Ridge and Tuttle. There's a lot of construction going on in that area, so make sure to keep an eye out on the cars in front of you, the roadways, those puddles that will definitely slow up your commute as well if you are heading through that area. Moving back to the maps, let's take a look at South County. Not a whole lot going on, just the usual pickup throughout Venice and Nokomis on this Wednesday morning.
We are coming up on 6:35 and topping our news this half hour, we're learning more about the 4 Americans killed in a plane crash in Australia yesterday.
The private plane was on its way to a golf course when the pilot reported engine failure just moments after taking off. The plane crashed into a mall near the airport runway, killing everyone on board. The passengers were on vacation with their families in Melbourne. Their friends and family in Texas say they were always full of adventure.
A good friend of mine says, we're not here for a long time, we're here for a good time. And I think Russ had a good time.
Well, what went wrong with that plane, friends and colleagues say there is no word on funeral arrangements just yet. The Australian investigators say their review of the crash will take about a month to establish the basic facts, but the investigation will take longer due to a large number of witnesses providing reports on that accident. Another big story we're following today, millions of people living in the U.S. illegally are now on high alert following President Trump's newest immigration rules.
The orders from the Department of Homeland Security give new powers to border agents and local police, but they could also put the majority of the nation's 11 million undocumented immigrants at risk of deportation. Kenneth Moten has more.
This morning, President Trump's new immigration rules applauded by supporters.
It is about time. The new guidelines don't actually change any existing laws.
Feared by people in immigrant communities nationwide.
Breaking up families and deporting immigrants is not going to solve any of those problems.
The president making good on her promise to target the worst of the worst undocumented immigrants.
We have some bad hombres here, and we're going to get them out.
President Obama prioritized the deportation of serious criminals, but under Trump, Immigration and Border Patrol agents have been directed to deport anyone convicted of any criminal offense, including crimes like driving without a license. Those charged but not convicted or deemed a risk to public safety could also be targeted. The new rules do not impact dreamers, those brought to the U.S. illegally as children.
Those people who are in this country and pose a threat to our public safety or have committed a crime will be the first to go.
The new Homeland Security orders came down during the president's tour of the National Museum of African American History and Culture. It was here where Trump, facing mounting criticism for his silence, denounced dozens of recent anti-Semitic threats, attacks, and acts of vandalism at Jewish centers and cemeteries across the U.S.
And a very sad reminder of the work that still must be done to root out hate and prejudice and evil.
The Anne Frank Center for Mutual Respect called the president's statement too little, too late. The FBI is investigating the recent incidents at those Jewish community centers. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
In New York, the National Park Service is trying to figure out who unfurled a giant banner at the Statue of Liberty saying refugees welcome. The banner was hung from the public observation deck at the top of the statue's pedestal yesterday afternoon. It was taken down about an hour later. Regulations prohibit anything fixed to Lady Liberty. Activists calling themselves the Alt Lady Liberty are taking responsibility for the display, saying they oppose President Trump's executive actions against immigrants.
We want Vern! We want Vern!
They want Vern. Hundreds of Sarasota County residents are calling on Congressman Vern Buchanan to return to the U.S. Many people here are upset that Buchanan left the country instead of holding town hall meetings with his constituents. Event organizers say about 200 community members came together today at his office to express their concerns. The group plans to return next Monday, and other groups will be gathering over the next week or so at the offices. Buchanan is currently in Afghanistan for meetings on national security. Following recent threats at Jewish centers across the country, centers here on the Suncoast are now on high alert. The Jewish Federation of Sarasota Manatee says it is taking precautions as well as getting the word out to local synagogues. The group recently met with Homeland Security and teamed up with experts to beef up security at all their locations. Staff members were unable to go into details for us about the specific precautions, but they stress that they are on top of this situation.
It's a frightening issue. Yeah, we're aware of it, and we have to be a lot more cognizant of it and be much more defensive than we've been, and be much more offensive with talking against it and about it.
In addition to beefing up security, the Jewish Federation of Sarasota Manatee says it has formed a coalition with other groups in the area.
A bill that would require elementary school children to have 20 minutes of unstructured free play recess each day is moving through the state legislature. It has passed a key Senate committee. Right now, only 3 small counties mandate the break time, and just 11 school districts require any amount of recess at all. Under the new legislation, all kids from kindergarten through 5th grade would be allowed playtime separate from PE class.
Sitting in a chair for 6 hours a day is something that we as adults have a tough time doing. Imagine asking, your 6 and your 7-year-olds to be doing that, and then having to be the teacher that's in charge of keeping that control.
Well, similar legislation has previously stalled in the Senate Education Committee. A push by Florida House Republicans to shut down the state's Economic Development Agency is also moving forward. A House panel voted for a bill that would eliminate Enterprise Florida and cut spending on tourism advertising. That bill moves to the full House, which is expected to take up the bill in March. The measure is a top priority for House Speaker Richard Corcoran, who says the state is wasting money on corporate welfare. Scott is opposed, though, and is calling the bill a job killer.
In consumer news this morning, distracted driving is on the rise, and now it's putting a dent in your wallet with insurance coverage. Distracted driving is blamed for more than 300,000 accidents a year. Authorities say the number of crashes involving distracted driving is helping push up insurance rates. So the typical driver now spends over $900 a year on auto insurance, and that is up 16% over the past 6 years. There are ways to lower your premium. Consider combining your homeowners and auto coverage, and if you have a short commute, take advantage of low mileage discounts. Keep an eye on your credit score too. Good credit can lead to better prices. One local business is opening its doors today after a major move. Sal's New York City Deli moved its restaurant from downtown Sarasota down to the Gulf Gate area. The new deli will offer a revised, leaner menu, but it is keeping all the trademark sandwiches. Oh, I hope he's keeping the cheesecake too. You can grab something tasty from Sal's starting at 11 this morning when their new spot opens at 6630 Gateway Avenue. That was a fun addition to downtown, so it'll be great to have it down in the Gateway area as well.
Yeah. Oh, you can take the cheesecake. I'll take the corned beef sandwich.
Yeah. I still just got to get there. So
the crust on that cheesecake is something I never stop thinking about.
It's good stuff.
Especially right now.
Good
little coffee, little cheesecake.
And this is the kind of weather for it, right?
Is that why I'm craving comfort food? We'll blame the weather.
I crave it all the time. What can I say? We have probably a period of about 4 hours of some fairly heavy rainfall across the region, moderate to heavy rainfall. So allow yourself a little extra commute time this morning. That's the best advice I can have. We'll talk about what to expect this afternoon coming up in just a few.
There's a whole new way to bank with Achieva Checking Plus. You get new features like cell phone protection for 3 phones, plus an interest-bearing account. And that's good to know. Discover all the benefits at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
I knew I could get myself out of this. I just needed some hope and some help.
I took the first step to recovery when I made the call.
If you're depressed, drinking, and using drugs, you may need help. And the Affordable Care Act guarantees coverage of substance abuse. Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment.
I had problems just getting to sleep, drinking and using pills every night.
I feel like I'm losing control. I'm afraid I'll lose my job or even my family.
Are you losing hope? You can recover and get back on track. Call now for hope and help with proven, gentle recovery programs.
I never thought that I could be somebody who didn't drink and use drugs.
I have something to hold on to for strength. I'm in recovery, getting the help I need.
Call the Addiction, Hope, and Helpline now for a free assessment with someone who cares.
Call 1-800-764-8708. That's 1-800-764-8708.
Hurry in to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota for big savings on some of America's best vehicles. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers. Get all the safety and security of a new Dodge Journey for as little as $16,599. Or stop by today and drive away in a 2017 Jeep Patriot for just $15,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Come meet the artists and enjoy their creations at the St. Petersburg Fine Art Festival. Over 100 artists and thousands of works in contemporary art, in photography, glass, sculpture, jewelry, and much more. The 4th Annual St. Petersburg Fine Art Festival, Saturday and Sunday, February 25th and 26th at North Straw Park in St. Petersburg. Bring your love and appreciation of art to the St. Petersburg Fine Art Festival. For more information, visit ParagonArtEvents.com.
There's a whole new way to bank with Achieva Checking Plus. You get new features like full ID theft protection, and that's good to know. Discover all the benefits at AchievaCU.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Rainy skies outside right now. Our tower cam view showing the reflections off the wet road surfaces. The good news is we got some pretty good rainfall around here on Saturday, so that took a lot of the surface oils off the road, but still you can expect to see some ponding on some of those roads. And remember, it only takes a 1/4 inch of water to cause hydroplaning on some cars, so just allow yourself a little extra time. Still, pretty shot. 65 degrees the air temperature. We have rain showers in progress. Dew points high at 62. The east wind will continue shifting a little bit more to the west this afternoon. Now, this is the water vapor imagery. This is good. This shows you where the swirls and motions are in the atmosphere at mid and upper levels, where the dry air is, where the dry air is not. There's our low pressure area right there, clearly defined on the water vapor imagery. The moist air right over the state of Florida now, but look upstream. That tan color, that's dry air. That's sunny skies, and that's headed our way after we get through today, and that'll bring us some very lovely weather right into the weekend. It's just this morning that's going to be a soppy mess. We have a lot of heavy rainfall now moving onshore, moderate to heavy rainfall. The tendency will be for this to kind of weaken as it gets closer to the shoreline, but still it can produce at times some, 1/2 inch to 1.5 inch rains per hour. So some pretty good showers. But look here, this is the lightning strike data over the last 12 hours. We had a good solid line of storms, but it's kind of falling apart as it got closer to shore. So thunderstorms, really not in the forecast. Heavier rain now moving onshore anywhere from, all along our coastline, actually, from Fort Myers up to St. Petersburg. So you can expect to see that through the morning hours. Periods of moderate rain, periods of some heavier rain. The heavier rains won't last long before they transition into more moderate rainfall, but still, just allow yourself that little extra time. We've got all of this to get through before we see some clearing, probably about 4 or 5 hours worth of some pretty steady, heavier rains to moderate rains, and then we'll start to see some clearing in the afternoon. Not complete clearing. We'll still have an onshore wind flow, and some scattered showers will be with us right straight through the afternoon into the evening hours. From Osprey all the way down to the south, there's some moderate rain falling. Longboat Key also seeing some moderate rains, and some of the heaviest rains now located right around areas of Nokomis, Minnesota, down south toward areas of Fort Myers. So all of this showery activity in store for us this morning before we get into this clearing that we see back behind us. By tomorrow, I think we'll see a lot of this sunshine right across the board, so it'll be a much improved day. Here's the reason we expect rain showers this afternoon. The low pressure area will take its good sweet time moving across the state, and as it does so, we'll get some of this wraparound moisture producing some rain showers and slinging them back. So even during the overnight tonight, we'll get an occasional rain shower. Nothing like we'll see over the next 4 hours, though. Not like that. We'll look for a southeast wind shifting west at about 10 knots. Obviously, not a great day for boating. Things lighten up this afternoon a little bit, but they really don't clear out until tomorrow afternoon. And then we have a prolonged period of intense beautiful. Back to you guys.
All right, I'm looking forward to intense beautiful because this morning we're dealing with some intense wet, and that is going to lead to slowdowns on the roadways. Right now, things good up and over the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. We are seeing a slowdown there southbound on 301 as you head through Bradenton, but the good news is no big wrecks showing up. So keep allowing that extra time and be cautious on the roadways because so far so good. Thumbs up for the morning commute. Moving across Fruitville, things also looking good in both directions, starting to get some volume there on and off I-75. Bee Ridge is starting to show some slowdowns there coming across the mid part of the roadways between 41 and 75. We have a live look right now at Bee Ridge and Tuttle, and there's been some construction in that area, but so far the traffic doesn't appear to be causing any big problems. You can see things are moving well. So again, if everybody can just allow that extra time with those wet roadways, we should be able to avoid the major problems for the morning commute. Back on the maps, things moving well in South County as well. So far, I'm impressed. Hopefully we aren't jinxing it.
Exactly.
It is 6:50 and in health news this morning, a healthy diet should go heavy on lean proteins and complex carbohydrates. But a new study actually says that too much protein could be bad, especially for women over 50.
That's right. Women who eat a high protein diet could have a greater risk of heart failure. Researchers examined the protein intake of more than 1,000 women between the ages of 50 and 80. All participants were free of heart failure during the study period, but a good majority of them developed heart failure by 2005. Researchers found women who follow a high protein diet had a significantly higher rate of heart failure, almost double of those who ate less protein daily.
In entertainment news this morning, voting is now closed for the 89th Annual Academy Awards.
Yesterday was the deadline to cast Oscar ballots. Now the paper and online votes will be counted and calculated, but only two partners at PricewaterhouseCoopers will know the winners until they're revealed. You can catch that entire award ceremony right here on ABC 7 at 8:30 on Sunday night.
More women are taking the lead in Hollywood. A new study reveals that women were 29% of protagonists in the top 100 films at the U.S. box office last year. Good news, that is up 7% from 2016. Women also made up 37% of major characters, and that is up 3% from the year before. You know, it so depends on the year and the movies and the themes,
of course.
But we're always happy to see those strong women movies.
Definitely. Well, stay with us. We'll be right back.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, restaurant guide, and more. Go to mysuncoast.com/dining.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Come out to the best party of the season, the Goodwill Mardi Gras Gala on February 28th at Michael's on E. Tickets at experiencegoodwill.org.
As the only certified surgeon of excellence in metabolic and bariatric surgery in the area, Dr. Joseph Chepley has performed more than 1,300 successful bariatric surgeries. Join us on ABC 7 News from 5 to 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, February 23rd. Dr. Joseph Chepley and his talented staff will be taking your phone calls as we discuss what makes someone a good candidate for surgery and the different options available to patients in our area. Thursday, February 23rd.
Florida Studio Theater presents the Florida premiere of Brownsville Song, B-Side for Trey, now playing in the Goppert's Theater. Set against the gritty backdrop of rundown Brooklyn, Brownsville Song is a poignant and uplifting story of one family's courage and endurance. Based on real-life events, Kimberly's award-winning play sheds light on the strength of families in Brooklyn's inner city. Don't miss what critics are calling a powerful knockout that's performed with heart. Brownsville Song's now playing. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting Florida Studio Theater.
Florida's last private island is a waterfront lifestyle like no other. This is Harbor Isle, just 5 minutes from the sugar sand beaches of Anna Maria Island. This sun-splashed paradise invites you to enjoy natural adventures and all the recreation of a tropical resort. Island coach homes and waterfront condos are now available from the high 400s, plus incredible savings on move-in ready homes. Come tour 6 designer models. This is the time of your life. Make it island time at Harbor Isle. Go to mintofla.com now.
Luxury for less at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sports Utility for $249 per month or a 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Welcome back. We are taking a look at some wet roadways this morning, but so far so good. Starting to see the typical slowdowns there at 301 and over the bridges, but no wrecks popping up. Good news, State Road 70 a little heavy in the eastbound direction. I-75 moving well through Manatee County and into Sarasota. Again, typical slowdowns here and there across the major roadways east to west, but no crashes coming up and things moving well in South County. So allow some extra time because John says not getting better anytime soon.
Yeah, moderate to heavy rain, I think, right straight through morning drive time. You can see that heavier stuff kind of getting closer to shore here. But after about 9, 10 o'clock, I think we'll start to see a more sporadic rainfall, occasional breaks in the showers. So that'll be a nice thing.
All right, certainly want to grab the umbrella if you are heading out the door or making your way to school.
But it's not a cold front. There's no big bonus on the backside of this?
You know what? There is a weak cold front attached to it, but no, there will not be a big bonus.
No big bonus.
In fact, we may even see some fog forming tomorrow morning after we really wet down the ground.
Right.
Hopefully it'll help with the wildfire issues.
Yeah, it's still a little smelly out there from Polk County.
I know.
All right.
All right, stick around. Good Morning America up next.